Hello YouTube viewers, this is Steve from AZ Blade Broker. This morning we're taking a look at the brand new model F7511 from Ganzo. See if we can get that to focus on that. There we go. So this is an F7511BK. As you can see, a lot of the boxes in there are coming marked as Firebird, and over on the side they say, in real fine type, it says made by Ganzo, designed by Firebird. So not really sure what's going on with the rebranding. Anyway, all the new ones are coming out with these little silky pouches as opposed to the crappy little felt pouches, so that's a nice improvement. So let's take a quick look at this knife. Let's start by comparing it to my most popular selling knife, the G7533 CF. Very close, very similar. This one feels a little bit heavier, but we'll compare the weights in a bit. Of course, as you can see, this is a liner lock, not an axis lock, which is, just a preference thing. There is no doubt that a liner lock is a stronger lockup than the axis lock, at least in this brand. So very similar. I'm going to say this knife is maybe a skosh bigger, 1/16 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch. But other than that, very comparable. Very different. Well, not very different. Similar blade shapes, but not nearly as sharp of a point on this one. Much more of a utility version of a point, as well as a much more profound. The false edge does not come all the way to the tip, which in my opinion would make the very tip of this knife a little bit stronger. The fact that it is not as sharp and it is not false edged all the way to the top tip. But this would be a better penetrating knife if your reason for having it is self-defense or stabbing purpose, then this would probably be a better knife for you than this one. For a utility version, probably this knife. Okay, let's take a look. Alright, like most Ganzos, 440C is the blade material. This one being a 7511 means that it is a brushed finish. It has a reversible pocket clip left or right, but only in the tip up configuration. So far, of all the flippers that I've had from Ganzo, this is by far the smoothest. This thing is very nice. Much smoother than the frame lock Ganzos. I've had several of the different models, or I guess there's only two at this point, but I've owned both of the frame lock versions, and the liner lock just doesn't put nearly as much pressure on the blade with the detent. It is way smoother. And I don't know for sure whether or not this is supposed to be a ball bearing knife. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's just got maybe brass bushings in it, but we'll look further into that in a bit. So of course, it's got the little finger tab flipper on the back side. These are black G10 liners with these little green inlays that, I don't know, I suppose they stick up a little bit, so it provides a little bit of gripping, but nothing substantial. I think it's strictly aesthetics. It does have jimping in the frame spacer all the way back that is just slightly higher than the frame, so it does provide a little bit of gripping there. I don't know if you can see that or not. As well as it has a fairly pronounced thumb ramp with the jimping on the back side of the knife, which I really like the ergonomics of this knife. It has the same exact profile as the Model 750. I just don't have one in stock right now to compare it to. I have some on the way, but they're not here. Same profile, same blade shape, the double finger choils here. So other than the 750 is an axis lock, and again, like I said, this one is a frame lock. Okay, so let's do some quick measurements on this knife. It looks to be right at 8¼ inches, 8¼ strong. Just over 8¼ 5/16, I guess, 8 5/16 in length. And then the blade is 3 5/8 inch. You can see that? Here we go, 3 5/8. 5.4 ounces, 152 grams. Let's compare that. 132 grams for the 533 or the 753 to 154 grams. And then if we go to ounces, of course we are 5.4 compared to 4.5. Wow. 4.6. 7 or 8 tenths of an ounce heavier. That's pretty interesting. Okay. Yeah. So these are the first that I know of in the United States. I'm sure there might be somebody that has them ahead of me, but I was on the list to get them when I first heard of them. So they are available for sale on my eBay store, which is surplus-steve11 on eBay, and there'll be a link right down there. And same handle on Gunbroker for the Ganzo automatics. So that's our first look at the Firebird F7511 by Ganzo Knives. Leave a comment. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this knife. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a whole slew of new Ganzos coming in the coming year. Pretty much on the top of the list for everything that's released new, and we'll be doing videos on them as soon as I get them in hand. So subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.